it's so weird, the life that we all lead behind closed doors, you know. I don't know what your secrets are or what you do, but when I tell you what I do, I am being perfectly honest with you. I mean, I have lived such an interesting life, full of debauchery, boyfriends, an ex-husband, a hellified cocaine habit, ridiculous. More nightclubs than I could possibly go into telling you about. So now the life that I've set up for myself, I'm telling you, sometimes I think about it and it makes me laugh. Because I've lived such, and I'm still living a full life, but in a different way. But because I lived such a sinful, debaucherous life, I guess. God, I'm lucky to be alive. I'm sure I'm not the only one here today who says amen to that, you know. I'm lucky to be alive. So, emptying out my husband's gym bag and spraying it down with Lysol, propping it open with a brick and putting it out back for the sun to get to it is joyful to me. Does that make sense to you? And it ain't easy doing a talk show. It ain't easy doing a show, period. I can't be running around town. Although in my mind, there I am, in the corner, holding court every day at a 5-star restaurant. Right about now. It's 11:30 New York time. Right now, it's 11:30. We just got off the set at 11 o'clock. It's a live show. I keep on my show makeup. Maybe pare it down a little bit. But I keep on some show makeup. I put on my street wig, which is what I have on now. I keep my fishnets on. And a pencil skirt, because I'd be single, you know, so, you know, you got to keep your look because you never know where Mr. Right's going to be. Me and Dr. Lisa would jump in the car service, hers or mine. It wouldn't even matter. She's in town. She just came off the show. We'd go over to Michael's, hold court next to, you know, some of the other, whoever goes there, a lot of important people. She would order the soup and salad. I would order a piece of lettuce because I'd be single and I'd be still on the hunt for man, which means that I wouldn't be as comfortable eating like a cow like I do right now. We would have 4 glasses of white wine, and being that our stomachs aren't full, we'd be giggling with delight. Oh heck. That's 4, that'd be 2 apiece. Come on, Lisa, let's order another bottle. All right, so that's a bottle apiece. That's 8 glasses of white wine. Then she would say, let's go to Saks and buy shoes. And I would say, why not? We are both working. We have a credit card. Shall we use yours or mine? You know, when you don't have a kid and you don't have, like, you know, a care in the world, a sense of responsibility or something like that, I could imagine myself shopping all the time. Now I'm so close to retirement. I hold on to every damn dollar practically. Don't be pompous, because it could be all over tomorrow. And when it's over, it's over. And you have to save your coins. So please, I'm not. Okay, this is my same freaking day planner. I've had this same day planner for like 10 years. Anyway, look, I don't have to prove myself. The point is that, you know, I'm not that girl. Anyway, back to my fantasy. We would go to Saks and we would shop. I would find that their shoe department only goes up to size 11. I would be pissed, so I would go outside and smoke another fake cigarette. Lisa would say, when you finish smoking, meet me in the St. John's Knit area. Because, you know, we're daytime divas, so therefore we have to dress a little bit more conservatively, but with no panties. I'd meet her in St. John's Knit. We buy outfits. Then both of our car services would meet us outside Saks. Because alas, It's now 4 o'clock, Lisa. Where has the time gone? I have dinner with Devin at 7. I'll see you later, girl. And we would air kiss. And then I would go back to my apartment because at this point I would live in the city. I'd live on Park Avenue, Upper East Side. Car service, Jeffrey, he'd be my regular driver. Jeffrey, take me back to my penthouse. Then I'd get back to the penthouse and I'd take the elevator upstairs and it would open right into my apartment because I only have to care about myself, which means that I can get the best place in town. And it'd be one of those ones where the elevator opens up and there I am in my house with a point light looking down on Antoine's Emmy for best hair. He keeps it at his own house. But in my mind, if I was single, it would matter to me that I have an Emmy sitting in my house. I don't care whose name is on it, as long as it says, of the Wendy Williams show. Why am I smoking so much? Oh, because I'm single and I'm trying to keep my weight down. So I go into the house. Hello, Hazel, I'm home. Gregory, draw me a bath. It'd be a big apartment. Of course I'd have people helping me and living with me on their side. Oh, it's 4 o'clock, my goodness. It's time to watch, the Jeremy Kyle show. Anyway, you can see the life that I would lead for myself. I had shopping with one Wendy guest and I have date with another guest tonight. And who knows whether it will end up in sex or not. I'm single. My eggs are getting rotten. And not that Devin will be my Mr. Man, but he's my Mr. Man tonight, and that's what's important. And guess where we're going for dinner? Right back to Michael's. Because I have no shame in my single game. I want to be photographed by the paparazzi. You know, I want good service because I'm a regular there. And we won't take my car service, so Jeffrey, you're off for the night. He picked me up probably in his Bugatti. These ball players. And we'd go to the club afterwards. And I may get dropped off at the studio where I'd just already be here. I'd sleep on the couch, wake up in the morning. The bags under my eyes would be down to here. I would look a freaking hot mess. But I'm having a good time using my own show couch as the casting couch. Fortunately, my manager is right across the hall. If I miss him in his office, though, I can always roll over and talk to him tonight. As I am the one to sleep with my manager. Girls got to do what a girl's got to do to get ahead in this world. I always knew that Boston is where I was not going to stay to get a break in radio. I always knew that. And I always knew that when I walk across the Boston Garden and get my diploma, that my career is now the #1 priority in my life. I always knew that. I never shared it with the guy, you know. But I always knew that. I always knew that. Like, we're not going to be together after college. Are you kidding me? Not only am I chasing my career, but I've got more frogs to kiss, you know, along with having an exciting career and stuff. I don't have, no. Rihanna and Leo. Apparently they were seen getting really, really close at the Playboy Mansion. Listen, everybody calm down. This is not a relationship. This is a little something, something. She's 26 years old. Remember how when you were 26 years old, a little something, something? Oh, am I the only one that's lived? Really? Like, I was very clandestine when I was a single woman. No, I was a good girl, and they know it. Like, you only bring those home that you really think something is going to be popping off with. In other words, my parents have only met like 4 people in my entire life. In the meantime...
A healthy person is a sexual person. I mean, if you're not healthy, what's the last thing you feel like doing?
Having sex.
So I've got my husband on hormones, and the kids are gone, and it's just the two of us. And
you're having fun. So... I mean, today we talked about Taylor Swift. I just needed to point out that, you know, while there's some people that might think that it's slutty if you're 21 years old or 22 years old and you've run through 3 guys in 14 guys now. there's nothing wrong with dating 14 guys in a 3-year period when you were 22 years old. It sounds like a lot, because it is a lot. But what were you doing when you were 22? Don't ask me, because I've told you. I have lived. And that's the only way you can... That's the only way you can probably truly feel right with yourself once you settle down. You know, is if you've lived, if you've gone on vacation by yourself, if you've had your own apartment. The one that you share with your friends doesn't count as your own apartment, you know? You know, women give up so much when we get married. We really do. I mean, you know, and then you add in the whole baby factor thing. I mean, we give up a lot, and you want to be able to give things up, but you want to already know that you've already done that, honey. I'm gladly giving that up. As a matter of fact, by the time you get ready to get married, you want to run to the
altar,
concrete foundation of marriage. I mean, if you really like lived your life, there's nothing about that life over there that I miss. When it was time to get married, I ran to the altar, knocking everyone down, like, somebody please save me from myself. I told you, though, I had lived, honey. I had this made from a friendship ring, like a promise ring. The promise rings are so 16, I know. But when I first met Kevin, you know, I was a divorcee. Which, you know, I wanted to stay a divorcee for the rest of my life. First of all, it sounds fabulous. People don't use that word enough, divorcee. So, you know, when I first met Kevin, I was a divorcee and never cared about getting married again, and especially not to him, you know. I didn't think that I could bring him home or any of the above. Didn't know if I wanted to. I just didn't want to be bothered. I just wanted to have sex and be treated for dinner or something like that. And so about a year into us being together, he threw this surprise party that I had no idea what was about to happen. It ended up being our promise party. I guess a lot of people would call it an engagement party. It was at Roseland Ballroom. There were thousands of people. Method Man, Red Man, Mary J. Everybody performed. I think the Fushnikins, it was so old school. DOS Effects, SWV did You're the One for Me. Yeah, it was a good party. And then they had me sit on stage on a throne, and these shirtless men that looked like Michael Jai White come up on stage throwing rose petals at me, and in the middle there's a velvet box and a ring. And he'd arranged for my sister to be there, and my brother, and Monique and I were working on a project together at the time. Remember, Monique? We were supposed to have a talk show together back in like 93 or 94. Anyway, and that was like 99, maybe 95 when he gave me the ring, or shortly after we met. So this was the promise ring. And so this necklace is one of my faves because it's love, like, you know, promise ring. That's when I knew he was a keeper. The studio audience was really good today. I can feel the energy in the air where people have off from work now, and, you know, they're starting to do things that they've always wanted to do, like shop during the day or come to the Wendy show or something like that. And I just fed off their energy, and I slept a long time last night because I knew that today, you know, I have to, I'm presenting at the International Emmys, which I'm really excited to do. My handsome husband will be my handsome date, and one of our TV partners from Denmark Mercury, Ira Bernstein, will be sitting at the table. I have no idea who else is sitting at the table. But I've never presented at an awards show before, and I'm doing it in sequins. It fits like a dream. Pops out at the boobs, goes in at the waist. There's a little stretch in it. And maybe I'll wear an organized tornado tease and pop and red lipstick. And I have no idea what the food is. I've got to remember what the real girls in Hollywood do. It's so funny to me that I even have a talk show. So, you know, I mean, we've been on for 3 years and it's still just super funny because I am so not that girl. Like, I feel like we talk about celebrities. We're not celebrities. We have fun talking about them. So here's what the girls do in Hollywood. They never, first of all, would eat out in public. They get their food. They get their food, and then they push it around their plate. They would never eat the bread. You don't eat the potatoes. You eat nothing. So because I'm from Jersey and I'm not from Hollywood, I really have to learn to control myself. I really do. I will not eat with my hands. I will leave something on my plate, and I'll be sure not to pick extras from my husband's plate. And whatever I do, don't eat the dessert. That's a sign of a true fat ass. Because I've always been a girl whose weight has fluctuated, and I have never been exactly a sample size, although there are a few designers who send over sample sizes, and I'll have you know that I've worn them before. I love it. It's Millie. It's from Saks. It's from Saks Fifth Avenue. Look, I love my outfit today, and I laughed so hard during I'm calming down. I laughed so hard during Hot Topics that my belt popped open, which was so funny. Has my attitude changed? Have I gotten a bit to be, excuse me, Brendan?
Well, I learned a long time ago never to look you right in the eyes. So
Who told you that?
Just kidding. No, you're exactly the same. And exactly how you are on camera is how you are backstage, so we like that.
That's all I'm saying. A big shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Jimmy?
What are you doing for the weekend?
What are you doing for the weekend?
Working on my new house.
Yeah, you just bought a new house.
It's in North Haledon.
So you have to hurry up and move in, because when winter comes,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I look at houses right now and the processes of being built, and I'm just like, okay, well, they got about 30 seconds to finish this house before the snow comes. Yeah.
Yep, I want to get in there.
Yeah.
I got my other house at the shore. I got to get my tenants a generator.
Uh-huh. How you
Well,
doing?
that was my home for a long time in Belmore.
Belmore?
Yeah.
13th Avenue?
Right, I'm just off of 19th.
DJ's?
Right down the street, yeah. Yeah, and what's his name that owns the place? Used to be the drummer in the band Holme. Holme, back in the day. They had the Garden State Boogie was their hit.
My thing is that I like that people at the Wendy show are able to have nice lives, So he's moving into his home, but he has a rental home at the Jersey Shore, and you rent out. See?
Life is good.
We have a lot to be thankful for.
It's not perfect, though, Jimmy.
Never is.
I am. Jimmy's in it.
But it's good.
But it's good.
This is only October 22nd or something, so, school is barely a month old. He started, early September. Then a Spanish teacher gave him a second book with the promise that, his mom is sending the money in for the first book. Well, he never told me. I finally had... Okay, I'm negligent sometimes. I finally had to search through the pile of papers that he gives me religiously, because I'm busy, and doing the show for you, going to galas. So he finally gives me this whole skinny over the weekend. He lost the second book, he lost the first book, so now we owe $160 for 2 books, and it's only the first marking period. Damn books are almost expensive as the books in college, aren't they? Quite frankly, I don't understand why they just don't do it where the teacher just makes copies of the chapters that the kids need. Why do they need books? His backpack is so expensive. I mean, heavy. I think I need a nap.